People fail, everybody fails, I fail, you fail, but when you fail, there's this initial feeling of pain or discomfort because the failure has exposed your inadequacies, okay? Your inadequacies as a husband, as a wife, as a parent, as a student, as a business owner, as a whatever it is that you do. And now your failure, especially if it's a public failure, exposes this inadequacy, and it's very painful. It's very humbling. And a proud person cannot take it. They just can't function in that realm of being exposed. And so they do one of two things. Instead of learning from the failure, they deny it. They pretend like it didn't happen. They overlook it. They don't want to talk about it. They just want to move on because it's too embarrassing, and their pride won't allow them to process the failure and therefore learn from the failure. So either they're going to deny it, and many people have done that, or the other thing is they will blame somebody else. It's called blame shifting. You see, now the story goes like this. See, the reason why I was let go is because the boss and this and this and this and my coworkers and this and the company and this and they, blah, blah, blah. That's why I was let go. You see, the reason I was divorced is because my wife, she did this and she'd overspent. She was selfish. She did this and she wouldn't pay attention. Blah, blah, blah. And everybody's got a story, right? And the story is about whose fault it is to explain away the failure so that they are not exposed as being inadequate. Have you done this? Do you know somebody like this? Is that person you? It's pride. And when we blame other people, pay attention, or deny the reality of the failure, we cannot learn the lessons of the failure, and therefore we do not get better. That's why the Bible says pride ends in humiliation, because we can't learn. We never learn from our failures. We keep repeating them over and over and over. Pride comes before a fall. Pride ends in humiliation. As the dog returns to his vomit, so a fool repeats his folly. I read the Bible every day. I read it again this morning. I want to encourage you guys, if you don't read the Bible, if you don't have a regular Bible reading habit, get on it. Use the app, the YouVersion app. Read the Bible every day, even if it's for 10 minutes, 15 minutes. This is a lamp unto our feet and a light unto our path. It is God's wisdom to you. So I read it every day because I need it. I need God's wisdom. I need light. I need insight. And when you read this book, you discover that from the very beginning, Adam and Eve fail. Eve fails first, then Adam fails right after her. Then Abraham is supposed to be the patriarch of faith, the father of our faith, which he is. But he failed to trust God in concerning the promise of his son, right? He takes his wife's servant, Hagar, and they have a baby, and Ishmael is born, and everything gets messed up, right? This man of faith fails to trust God. He tells King Abimelech that, my wife, that's my sister. See, but it wasn't his sister. It was his wife, and so King Abimelech takes her as his own wife, and it's just these are the people in the Bible that are like the solid ones, right? Adam and Eve, Abraham. Then Moses, what does he do? He kills the Egyptian. Right? What does David do? He falls into lust and commits adultery with Bathsheba, then covers it up by having Bathsheba's husband murdered. Failure. Just keep going down the line. Peter, Paul, they all failed. But yet, here's the thing, and that's what I love about this book. And it proves its authenticity because it does not cover up people's failures. But through the failures, it says that God still used Abraham. He still used Moses. He still used Peter. He still used Paul. He still used Samson. The failures did not disqualify them from being used. Godly people fail, but here's what godly people do. They get back up. Listen to Proverbs chapter 24. The godly may trip 7 times. Now, when the Bible says 7, it doesn't mean all you get is 7 chances, okay? Oh, if you fail 8, then you're done, okay? That's not what this is saying. It's saying when it uses the number 7, it means lots of failures. The godly fail. Here's how we could translate this verse today. The godly fail a lot. They fail frequently, but here's what they do. They will, say it with me, they get up again. How interesting. The Bible doesn't say that the godly don't fail. The Bible doesn't say that the godly don't sin. They do. The godly sin, the godly fail. The godly sin, the godly trip up. But here's what the godly do. They get up again. How is it that they get up again? Why don't they stay down in their failure, depressed, discouraged, personalizing failure? Oh, this is it, I'm a terrible, now all I ever do is fail, it's permanent. Why don't they stay down like so many people do? Here's why, because number one, they humble themselves. Godly people humble themselves. And in their humility, they're able to rise again. See, a godly person says to themselves, okay, I don't have to be the smartest, I don't have to be the best, I don't have to be in charge, I don't have to have the final word, I don't have to be the best, I don't have to be number one, I don't have to be I don't have to be right. A godly person has given up their ego. And so because they've given up their ego doesn't distract them emotionally or psychologically. And so because they're not distracted emotionally and psychologically, they can actually deal with the failure. Like, what happened? My ego's not part of this. I've dropped my ego. So how did I mess up here? What did I do? Well, I didn't study enough. Well, I didn't keep my eyes on the right things. I didn't, focus better. I didn't have accountability. I didn't work hard enough. So because the ego is out of the picture, a godly person can actually see what they did wrong. Instead of covering it up or blame shifting, they're able to deal with what happened in the failure.